Hola, but first of all, welcome. Welcome to this introduction to the Spanish language for students like you. Today, we are going to learn some interesting facts about the language and talk about some of its features. As you probably know already, Spanish belongs to the family of Latin languages. Other members of the family are Portuguese, French, Italian, or Romanian. In this map, we can see the countries where Latin language is widely spoken, or at least it is recognized as an official language. Interestingly, Spanish is by far the most widely spoken of the Latin languages. So much so that if we consider the number of native speakers, it is the second most spoken language in the world, and only behind Mandarin. The Spanish language might have its origin in Europe, but it is in the American continent where it is more dominant, and it is the official language in 21 different countries. It is also estimated that more than 50 million people speak Spanish in the US. It means that only in the US more people speak Spanish than in the whole Europe. In this map, we can see all the countries in the world where Spanish is spoken. Let's see now some features of the language that we will systematically be covering in this course. The first one is the distinction between masculine and feminine. Some words in Spanish are masculine. Think of chico, a boy, and some are feminine, chica, a girl. Well, at least we do not have a third gender, neutral, like other languages. Think German or Russian. Number two, you might not be surprised, but we also have singular and plural. And in most cases, you just need to add an S to the word to form the plural. So, chica, a girl, chicas, girls. 3. There are two ways of addressing people in Spanish. One is more familiar, tú, and the other one is more formal, usted. Tú would be the equivalent of you in English, whereas usted has some formal connotations to it, would be equivalent to you sir or you ma'am. In some countries, they use an alternative form, vos. But don't worry about this, we will explain in detail in different lessons. Just consider that Spanish is spoken in a very large number of countries and geographical differences are natural. Think of the differences between American, British or Australian English. Number 4. Verbs in Spanish are conjugated. It only means that we change the ending of the verb depending on the person we are referring to. So if you want to say in Spanish, I speak, you would say, yo hablo. Yo, I, hablo, speak. If you want to say, you speak, then we say, tú hablas. Tú means you, and hablas means speak. But look at the ending, it's different, because the person we are referring to is different as well. In English, it happens mostly in the third person when you add an S. For example, I speak, but he speaks. Or I do, but she does. And the last difference that we are going to see in this introduction is the position of the noun and the adjective. In English, you would say the big house, where big is the adjective and house is the noun. In Spanish, you would alter the order and you would say something like the house big, la casa, house, grande, big, la casa grande. So the things to remember from this introduction is that Spanish belongs to the family of Latin languages, that it is the second most spoken language in the world by number of its native speakers. And there are some specific features, we have seen 5 today, that are common to all the Latin languages. So if you want to study in the future Italian or French, it will be easier.